wave of the current economic recession takes its toll across the country, and cost of goods and services take a hike.
The thing there is that the country we are living now, nobody knows where we are going. The federal government should put their eye and know what they are doing to help the poor masses, because the poor masses are no longer living well. It's affecting us.
One commodity currently generating a lot of tension is cement, which only last week recorded about a 50% price hike.
I can't just don't know how to explain to my clients, because I bought roughly about 200 bags last week. Now the man gave me 1,500. You can imagine the hike in price, almost 700. Where will I get 700 to hatch?
In 1999, when the country still depended on importation, cement sold for 500 naira and later rose to 625 naira in 2002. Same product now goes for between 2,300 and 2,500 naira, representing about a 500% increase.
This cement being produced by virtually one person or two persons in the country has really put a lot of things to hold. Because if there are a lot of producers of cement, there's going to be competition.
If they had known the multi-effect of saying they want to remove their hand totally from the regulation of the oil price, that has resulted to high mass demand of dollar in the hand of black market.
The effect of this is telling negatively on builders and sellers of the product, who complain of low patronage.
Before this time, you can't see anybody here. People will come in looking for workers, there's no workers. But as of now, you can stay for more than a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The people, you saw them here, they have nothing to do.
We just surprised, even sand costs, cement costs, and all these things. To maintain this our company now, it's not easy.
Housing deficit in the country is put at about 20 million units. This was meant to cost the country 56 trillion naira as at 4 years ago. Today, these may have doubled with the increase in the cost of cement, thereby casting doubt on housing for all by 2020.
I'm a poor civil servant trying to build a house of my own. How can somebody buy something of 1,500 last week, and today you come and they said it's 2,002? It's killing. And we want to appeal to the government to do whatever they can do, at least to ameliorate the suffering of the masses.
The only thing is that I hope are not
the impacts of recession, no doubt, are with us. How do we begin to ease our way out of it?
The CBN is not in a position to properly fund the foreign exchange market. So the main salvation now lies in the autonomous inflows from export proceeds, from oil companies bringing capital, from capital importation from foreign direct investors, and from also portfolio investors. And unless you have a fully market-determined rate, those flows will not come in the way they should. And it is very, very important at this time. There's also need to also look at the monetary policy. When you are faced with a slowing economy, when you are faced with a downturn in the economy, the thing to do is to stimulate the economy. And you can stimulate the economy by also easing monetary policy. So rather than tightening, we should be easing monetary policy.
double-digit inflation rate, high cost of goods and services, and negative growth of the economy. It's definitely not the best of period for Nigerians. However, of all the possible ways out of this situation, the blame game is not listed, which means whatever it will take the country to get out of this situation, the government of the day must be willing to offer so that smiles could return to the faces of Nigerians again. Chris Illems, Channels Television News.
Welcome back. We're now being joined by Honorable Rima Shawulu, who is a member of the House of Representatives. Well, you have heard this discussion. It's not yet a bill presented to the House of Reps or any chamber of the National Assembly, as it were. But you've heard a discussion, in certain quarters and even in some of the dailies. What did you make of that conversation when you heard that the president may be requesting emergency powers to stabilize the economy?
Well, I was surprised when I read the story first in the Nation newspaper, asking for, in the news story, about 4 or 5 things. But you know, it's speculative. So until we see the bill, one, to change the value of mobilization fee from 25% to 50%. 2, to allow the president to veer projects the way he wants. And all these policies, all these programs, we're told that are meant to stabilize the economy. But you see, the point really about it is that it is speculative. But because it is speculative, we discuss it on the basis of the speculation. First of all, you don't need a bill, one bill, to amend several bills. I don't know the process, how it's going to go if the bill comes. If you want to amend the UBEC Act, that is the bill, the UBEC Act, you amend it on its own. If you want to amend the Public Procurement Act, you amend the Public Procurement Act. You don't need to bring them as several bills and so forth. Of course, when you do a law, a law is meant to serve certain purposes. When you take it to the marketplace, that is when you take it for implementation, and the implementation starts, you make some observations. You may want to refine the law, which the president or any members of the National Assembly are at liberty to amend any law at the time they want. But when you now say you are requesting for emergency powers to do certain things, first of all, if you look at it, let's look at it critically, the issue of emergency powers that is being requested for, one of which is the issue of environment. Environment is a constitutional issue. It's an issue of budget, and the powers of budget resides in the National Assembly. Now you cannot come and say that ab initio, National Assembly should cede the power to vet, to sit over vermin requests to the president. Of course, if the framers of the Constitution thought that were possible, that were good, it would have been put in the Constitution. But it is not good for several reasons. One is that the National Assembly, no matter what any person, serves as a check.